Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks back here for our segment of the show. Sean Cruz has agreed to stick around and talk to us, but now I want to bring in our featured guest today, and that is co-founder of LikeFolio.com, Mr. Landon Swan. Welcome to the show from a remote location somewhere a lot warmer than Chicago. Landon, welcome to the show. This is one of our high-profile names of the week. We've got PayPal, and we've got a digital wallet. Landon, tell us what you're seeing in terms of the overall popularity of PayPal and its competition with Square, everything that PayPal is going on, and really the way most people know about PayPal, and that is Venmo, Landon.
Yeah, so this is a cool company because, 5 or 10 years ago, you think maybe PayPal's on its way out, right? It's a dinosaur. It used to be tied with eBay. That's all it was, and then they got a hold of Venmo, and they're starting to make a little comeback. And now all of a sudden, they're taking these 400 million users that they've got and leveraging them. And it just kind of goes to show you that you can't count out a company that has the huge distribution and the ability to get out to so many people quickly. You just can't count them out. And so what may seem like a dying company can turn around very quickly. And that's what's happening with PayPal. And they're doing it with an eye on the future, an eye on technology through digital wallets, like you talked about, through Venmo, through cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer payments, all of that. It's so much more than it used to be. And when we look at them, we've actually been bullish since about September when we started looking at, digital wallets overall. PayPal's a leader in that space. Mentions of digital wallets are up about 7x over the last 2 years. So this is something that is really taking hold. You didn't really know much about it, or very few people were doing it a couple of years ago, but you can see it's just up and to the right significantly. And that is a situation where you've gotten your money in, it's obviously it's not a bank account. It's this app on your phone where you can pay peer-to-peer, you can get direct deposits, you can check out online, and you can even buy things like cryptocurrencies and invest in that way. So PayPal's getting in on that game, and Venmo is doing extremely well, capturing a ton of users as well. They've actually kind of been part of the resurgence of the QR code as well, which I certainly thought that was a flash in the pan and we'd never see it again, but it's come back as well. They've got about 1.3 million merchants using their QR code checkout system, which is amazing to me. And they're doing a really great job, basically. So if you look at for example, mobile shopping is up 36% year over year, and PayPal mentions are up significantly. So overall, this company is in on it. When you look at how they're doing, just total mentions of the company, you can see here, big spike when everyone was locked in. You can see that right around March, April. And then kind of a pullback to the mean, but now it's picking back up again in mentions of PayPal, and that includes all their brands, including Venmo, are up almost near all-time highs, almost breaking through all-time highs at a time where the stock is off. It's off about 26% from all-time highs. So, from a bullish perspective, going into earnings, we're leaning bullish, mostly neutral, but long-term, I'd say we're bullish on this company. And the fact that it's pulled back so much, the stock, this could be a good buying opportunity because they're doing well even against the big competitor Square, who's, they've got the Cash App, and of course they're doing extremely well. But PayPal's definitely shown themselves to be a leader in this space. And again, leveraging those 400 million users. If you've got that, all it takes is a little bit of technology upgrade, and you can change vastly your top line and bottom line. I think that's what PayPal's doing.
And Landon, did you see anything coming out of Square's earnings where they actually had a little bit of a deceleration in their Cash App? Is that something that is more of an industry sector-wide phenomenon that we should see occurring here as well, or do you think it is a little bit of a differentiation in the offerings, and PayPal is not going to maybe have that same experience in their Cash App, Venmo?
Sure. Well, so what we're actually seeing, it's a good point. So when we look at Square versus Venmo, Square versus PayPal, and you break apart the apps, right? So PayPal has Venmo, Square has the Cash App. We're actually seeing, this could be a little warning sign, I guess. We're actually seeing that Cash App was doing a little bit better than Venmo. So this is that scatter plot that we like to talk about. To the right is good for growth, up and down is happiness. So Cash App in both regards is doing better than Venmo right now. PayPal as a whole is doing better than Square by a lot, but Cash App is doing a little bit better than Venmo. So I think this could be a potential concern on this report, since we saw what Cash App did, not quite thrilling investors as much as they'd hope. And based on our data, there's a good chance that Venmo is actually lagging behind a little bit more.
Just a few weeks ago, Landon, the rumors were coming out that PayPal was trying to buy Pinterest. The rumors were it was up to as much as $45 billion. They never acknowledged it. It was always a rumor. Then they came out and denied it, but the stock sold off pretty hard into that and really hasn't recovered very much. And I wonder if you saw any data on that, or do you think maybe there's something still there in terms of an acquisition of Pinterest, or if LikeFolio saw any data on why the stock is sold off, and when they came out and denied it, it didn't rally back?
Right. It's kind of weird, right? It's almost like buy the rumor, sell the news, but the news didn't happen. And I can't explain it, frankly. I will say that Pinterest is it's a company that LikeFolio's got its eye on, and we've been pretty bullish for quite a while. We love this one. So I think the potential marriage between these two could be nice, and I think that's what investors were hoping for. I don't know if there was enough insider rumor buying to actually push it to all-time highs like that, and then the sell-off is just people dumping that. That seems like a ton of speculation, and it doesn't make sense to me that it hasn't bounced back yet. So being off 26% from all-time highs is interesting, considering those acquisition rumors. But I think it kind of tells the company, at least, hey, investors wanted to see that happen. So maybe you should reconsider, or maybe you should consider in the first place. I'm not sure wherever it was in the boardroom at that time.
Yeah, Landon, one last little question. And it's about your scatter plot about total mentions versus positive sentiment. You already mentioned this, but if you could give us a little more color. You've got PayPal way ahead of Square, but you've got Cash App beating Venmo. How do you describe that, or how do you explain why PayPal is killing, the mothership of both companies, but yet Cash App is beating Venmo? How is the rest of PayPal topping Square so significantly?
Right. I think it has to do with just their move towards the digital wallets and all of this, investing in crypto and everything. So Venmo is, it's a decent sized position of PayPal, but it's not nearly the size relative to PayPal as Cash App is to Square. And so PayPal overall has reinvented itself. Like I talked about a little while ago, it was a dinosaur. It's on its way out. You only use it to buy eBay stuff, and now it's completely different, and you can do all kinds of stuff. It's basically like a digital bank account with cryptocurrency involved. So the fact that I think a lot of it has to do with cryptocurrencies booming. You've got mentions of people talking about buying cryptocurrency on PayPal or Venmo up about 15% year over year, and Bitcoin is it's booming right now. And I think that a lot of people are saying that we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin in the next year. I'm one of those people. I'm very bullish on it. I think that the more that cryptocurrency comes into play, the more that inflation fears are happening, and the more that you just want to be able to use your money in a digital way is going to benefit both companies. But what we're seeing is PayPal is actually leading in the technology, perhaps because of the huge user head start that they've got. Again, they're leveraging so many people, and if you have that distribution and you've got that underlying user base, if you up your technology just a little bit, the leverage that you get from that is just unbelievable. And I think that's what we're seeing in PayPal. And kudos to them, because I thought they were done, but they've turned it around, and I think they're a very strong company moving forward. I am concerned, Sean, as you point out, about the Cash App and the Venmo usage. We'll see what happens on the earnings report. If there's any dip at all, I think I'm picking up more shares because I'm definitely bullish PayPal long term.
Yeah, and then one other area that I think is interesting in this space, and PayPal recently made a move where they are proposing to pay $2.7 billion for a Japanese buy now, pay later firm called Paydi. Do you see that is something we're seeing a lot of these companies starting to experiment with and make some do some deal making around that? Do you see this move by them into the buy now, pay later space as really being something material for the company, or is that something that investors will likely just keep off to the sidelines when they're evaluating this earnings report?
I think it would fit very well with their strategy overall, just investing in digital wallets, investing in the future of payments. And we've seen, every metric that we look at on the macro level for buy now, pay later is just up and to the right big time. A lot of companies are benefiting, and I think that just based on how innovative and how forward-looking PayPal has been over the last couple of years, it would not surprise me if they did make an investment of that size. And frankly, as an investor, I would be very bullish if I heard that. I don't know if other investors are going to agree with that, if they see it as a small part of the company, or if they see it as just a continued trend of investing in technology. But I think it's a good fit for sure.
Landon, the running discussion between Jenny Horn and myself about carrying cash versus a digital wallet. Unfortunately for me, Jenny Horn seems to be winning this argument, as the trend is certainly moving towards a more digital payment system for sure. But Landon Swan, we appreciate you coming on, bringing your knowledge and your data to Fast Market. That is Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio.com. Have a great day, Landon. All right, now, Sean.